Yeah, so I started putting together as we started planning out this episode. I wanted to be able to bring different options for how to build a logo or how to make a logo. And, logos don't have to be something that costs money. A lot of companies do spend hundreds or thousands, or really big companies, potentially even $1 million on making a logo. But as you're starting out a business, you definitely don't have to spend a lot of money. The first site that I saw that was really, really cool was a website that's called LogoJoy. It's logojoy.com. And when you go to LogoJoy, you just type in the name of your business, and then it actually takes you through this thing that kind of feels like a game where you just pick other logos that you really like, and then you pick a bunch of different colors from a color palette, and then it'll actually give you a bunch of options for different types of logos. And this is something you could do in like 5 minutes. So it was really, really, really cool.
Yeah, I actually played around with this yesterday when Vincent sent me the link. I thought it was so cool. And you go through this little quiz and it asks you which logos you like the most and which colors you're most interested in. And then it will kind of generate all these different logos for you. And it gave me a bunch of cool different combinations of different colors and different fonts. I've learned that it's good not to mix too many crazy fonts into one logo. And so most of them were kind of like one curly font mixed with one more straight block font. And so I got a lot of inspiration from that. It was really cool.
Yeah, two other options I saw, Upwork and Fiverr. Fiverr is Fiverr with two R's. Both of these are kind of marketplaces where different graphic designers go on here. And it's almost kind of like Airbnb for graphic designers and different other freelancers. So you can go onto Upwork and you can find graphic designers that you can either pay by the project or pay by the hour. Fiverr, a lot of them will post, if you just search for logos, you can see different people that will do a logo for $25 or an entire branding package for a little bit more, but a lot of different options there. And then really on the high end, there's a site that's called 99 Designs. They do a really great job with logos and websites, and they'll do the full branding package, but it's a little bit pricier. On 99 Designs for $300, you can get 30 different logo options. And all of these logos are custom made. They're made specifically based off of what your business is and what your brand is that you're interested in. So we wanted to talk a little bit about tips for hiring a graphic designer, just because the branding for your business is so important. And the first one is be clear on the goals and expectations. So as you're coming up with the overall project, if you're looking for a logo and a business card, be really specific that you're looking for a logo and a business card, or a logo and a cover photo for your Facebook or for your Twitter account. And these expectations should roll directly into how you're doing the payments. And so different.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, go ahead, Meredith.
So I am working with a graphic designer to help customize my Shopify website. And so this is something that I definitely had to sit down and think about, is exactly what I wanted to pay for, exactly what I was expecting from them, and what the timeline for that would look like. And so I kind of did what Vincent was just getting ready to talk about. The payment schedule, we did half of it up front and half of it later. And that way I know exactly what I'm paying for.
Yeah, I've definitely had experiences in the past where, there are small projects, but I still didn't do the half up front, half later. And, there were times where I just wasn't completely happy with the work that somebody did. And the worst thing about it is if you're paying for all of it up front, you have no way of getting that person to be able to do more revisions. The second tip we have is talk to that designer about their portfolio and take a look at their portfolio and start understanding the different types of work that they do and how they typically work creatively. Something that you want to make sure is that person is building what you're looking for from scratch, meaning that they're not just going out to another website, buying a template, and then using that template to be able to create your website or your logo. Just because you want that to be something that's unique to you and your business. The last thing that you want is for the shop next door or for one of your competitors to have a really similar logo or website.
This is also a great time to go in and show the graphic designer you're working with that mood board that we talked about earlier. So like I was mentioning, it's super fun to make those mood boards on Pinterest or on PowerPoint or anything like that, but it actually is going to be so helpful if you can show your graphic designer exactly what you're looking for, what you're expecting, and kind of where you've drawn your inspiration from. That's going to be super helpful for them in getting you the right logo just like you're expecting.
Yeah, and I think the mood board perfectly rolls into the next one, which is make sure that your designer understands your brand and your target audience. It's a big difference between businesses that are targeting younger folks or businesses that are targeting parents or businesses that are targeting teenagers. And there's also even different vibes. And so a business that is appealing to lawyers as a target market would be really different than a business that wants to be able to connect with surfers. And so your designer should have a good understanding of this from your mood board, but also you should be having a conversation with your designer about the type of business that you're running. And you also want to make sure that that person has relevant experience within this industry. Even if they haven't designed for the specific industry of your business, you at least want that person to have experience as a consumer in that business. And then the last one is just talk to that designer about their inspirations. You know, you have different brands and different logos and different fonts and different styles and different colors that are really appealing to you. And a lot of the influences from your designer's inspirations will also end up in your logo as well. And so you want to make sure that you like those different elements that could make their way into the inspiration behind the final logo or design for your brand. And so these are our different tips for being able to pick a designer, how to get started with your logo. If you have questions, type those down in the box below. It might give us some inspiration for a future episode for Startup Garage Live. And